So you're a project manager and you've learned project management, but that leaves an awful lot more to learn. In this video, I want to answer the question, what are the top 12 non-technical skills that a project manager needs? First, before I start my list of the top 12 non-technical skills a project manager needs, I need to be clear what I mean by non-technical skills. I'm distinguishing non-technical skills from technical project management skills. Things like resource management, scheduling, risk management, benefits management. If you like, the core project management skills that we learn on a project management training course or taking a simple project management certification. If you've been working in project management for any amount of time, you'll realise that whilst vital to do your job, these things are not enough. There are more skills. So what are they? What are my 12 most important skills? Well, the first thing to say is that I am not going to count down my top 12 as if one of them is at number 12 and therefore nowhere near as important as the most important skill at number 1. I think that would be absurd, and it would certainly be highly subjective. The reality is all of these skills are important. And I was going to select a top 10, but I couldn't leave out 2 of these skills. The other thing I want to say before I give you my list is that I have not included communication. Now, of course, many people will quite rightly tell you that communication is the most important skill for a project manager, but it is also a huge bucket. If I said communication, then there would be far too few skills, because lots of the skills that I'm going to list are specific elements of communication. I want to be more granular so that you can better plan your learning. But of course, many of my top 12 non-technical project management skills include a large element of communication. And the first of them is leadership. Leadership is all about getting the best from the people who are following you, who are helping you to deliver the project, however widely you choose to interpret that. There are many different leadership models, there are many different ways to lead. But without a doubt, a good project manager needs to find a range of different ways that they can lead the people around them to get the best from them. And that means studying leadership, it means finding different models, testing them out and seeing what works for you, with your personality and in the context within which you work. Number 2 is closely related to leadership, it's facilitation. But I would define facilitation as your ability to help other people find solutions and discuss topics. Facilitation relates closely to problem solving, to decision making, as well as to understanding situations and distilling lessons from them. A strong project manager is not going to be someone who tells people the way things are. A strong project manager is going to be someone who can get the information from the people around them. And by bringing out the best from a diverse group of people, we leverage all of their skills, all of their talents to create a better project and therefore a better outcome. My third is feedback. If you're going to get the best from people, you also have to be able to help them to understand the results of their efforts. If people contribute well, they need to know they've done so and to be recognised for it. If they've made a mistake, they need to understand that mistake so that they don't make it again. The craft of giving really good feedback is essential to any leader and I believe to every project manager. If feedback comes at the end of a task, what is it that sets someone up to deliver a task well? It's a good briefing. We kind of take this for granted as project managers. We brief our staff, we brief our stakeholders about what's going on. But believe me, this is one communication skill you want to master. It's about distilling what you need to communicate and what you don't, and how to communicate complex, potentially uncertain situations in a way that is clear, understandable and compelling. And of course, to do that, you also need to be able to present. But presenting and speaking in front of a group of people or a large audience is a skill in itself. It consists of the ability to develop the presentation, both in terms of structuring what you're going to say and also preparing any materials that will support that, but also delivering it. I think of the presentation as being about preparation skills and platform skills. And platform skills is how to stand or sit, although I prefer to stand, in front of your audience and deliver information in a compelling manner. Good presentations are compelling, they are persuasive, and they are powerful. That is to say, they are compelling because people want to hear what you've got to say. They are persuasive if people believe what you're saying and they find your argument one that they can agree with. And they are powerful if people either remember what you say or they take action upon it. Or, of course, both. Mention of persuasive presentations brings me to number 6, ability to influence. As project managers, we often do not have authority over our stakeholders, and we sometimes don't even have authority in a formal sense over our teams. What that leaves us with is the ability to influence. The ability to get people to do things, to consider ideas, to agree with us through the strength of our personality and our persuasive skills. Be aware, of course, that the art and science of influence can be turned to good and to ill. But I believe all project managers do need to study the science of influence and to understand the ways that we get our arguments across and we help people to understand those arguments and to agree with them. And of course, a big part of influence is getting people to do what you ask them to, even if there is no compulsion to do so. And sometimes, of course, they have competing needs and demands. So my 7th skill is negotiation. The ability to work through all of the options and to win an argument, or, in a commercial sense, to come up with an agreement that satisfies all parties. Negotiation is, if you like, a form of conflict that is conducted with rules and respect. But the difference, the fundamental difference between negotiation and conflict isn't the rules, it isn't the respect, it is the outcome. In a negotiation, the outcome you're aiming for is one that everybody finds satisfactory. Figuring out how to do this, of course, takes us to number 8, problem solving. If a project is anything, it is a bundle of problems. One problem leading to another problem to another problem. For me, the joy of project management is constant problem solving. Working with a team of people to find a way to fix something that is broken or to make something work that is stuck. Problem solving is fun when done well, but there are a whole raft of tools that will help you to do it. Therefore, the skill of problem solving is vital for all project managers. And of course, when you think you have a solution to a problem, or possibly more than one solution to a problem, you have to make a decision. As with problems, there are many decisions to be made in a project, and therefore a project manager needs to be able to make good, effective, rigorous decisions. And vitally, a good decision is not necessarily the right decision. You can't know at the point that you make a decision whether it is right or wrong. All you can know is whether it is a good decision, a sound decision, one that has been made well. I've alluded to conflicts already. Let's tackle that head on. At number 10 is conflict resolution. Projects have high stakes, people will have different opinions, and therefore there is a huge potential as project managers to have to deal with conflict. We need to get involved and sometimes we need to resolve the conflict. Now, there are different modes we can adopt in getting involved in conflict. From being the, if you like, the arbitrator to mediating the conflict to being some form of coach or counsellor to one of the people within the conflict. But across that whole spread of different approaches, you need to be able to get involved in conflict and resolve it so that the project can move forward. One of the things that triggers more conflict than almost anything else is money. And a project manager needs to have financial skills. And I am well aware that project budgeting or project cost control could be considered as one of the core technical skills of project management. So I am going to draw my net wider. When I talk about financial skills, I'm going to talk about organizational finances. I'm thinking here well beyond project cost control to understanding management accounting and corporate accounts. Because as a project manager, we have to see our project in the wider context. We have to be comfortable with ideas of project finance, corporate finance, foreign exchange and exchange rate risk. All of those ideas are crucial for us as project managers. And for some project managers, more crucial than for others. And finally, while we're talking about the corporate realm, my 12th is strategic thinking. You might want to think of it as business acumen, but again, I'm going to widen it out. Strategic thinking is understanding the whole context of the organization within which you're working, its commercial, its social context, the ecosystem within which you work, and projecting that forward. What are the impacts going to be? If you can't see your project as part of a much bigger strategic picture, then there's a good chance that you will miss opportunities, fall for risks, or make mistakes. So there are my 12 non-technical project management skills that every project manager needs. What did I miss? If you've spotted anything I should have included, add them to the comments below and I'll be delighted to take a look at them. And please do give a thumbs up if you like this video. I'll be making loads more great project management content, so do subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of it. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.